Hey everybody, Maction here, and we're going to look at the XS100i. It's Polaroid's full-size action camera. Well, when you get your hands on one of these, the best place to try it out is on a road trip. In this case, a motorcycle trip, an 800-mile loop around some scenic state and national parks. So why don't you sit back and enjoy the trip while I talk a bit about the camera. With 1080p and 30 frames per second, and 720p at 60 frames per second, it can deliver some reasonable footage. It takes a micro SD card in the back and has a fairly good battery life of 1200 milliamps, definitely on the upper end. It takes 16 megapixel stills, which is very respectable and one of the best in its class. It is waterproof to 10 meters, or that's 33 feet for you Imperial scum, much deeper than you would go without gear, and around a 2.5-hour battery life. Now, I'm always skeptical of battery life claims, and never planned for more than 2 hours of recording at a go without a chance to top off the battery, but it did just fine for that. Now tack on some great low light quality, an auto rotation feature, and keep in mind that it is one of the least expensive of the action cameras in its class, and it's looking like a solid contender. Now, the XS100i looks quite the same as the XS100, and they are nearly identical, with the exception of a Wi-Fi module and the slight changes that such an advance brings. You can use your Android device and the XS100i app to record, do live previews, and adjust the settings without needing to connect to a computer at all. There's a separate app even for file transfers. Both are free, of course, from Polaroid on the Google Play Store. The XS100i comes with plenty of mounts. For example, straps, helmet mounts, adhesive mounts, but I think the most important is the handlebar mount. It's certainly the one that I used the most. Even if you choose not to use the mounts, you can take advantage of its native support for the 1/4 inch by 20 mount that's common on tripods, and their entire quick-release system is based on it. The mount lock, as it's called, screws into the 1/4 inch by 20 on the bottom, and then clips into the ball and socket bits, and in return attaches to whichever of the mounts you like. As I said, I mostly used the handlebar mount, although it's much more of an anything cylindrical mount than strictly handlebars, as I attached it to, of course, handlebars, raft paddles, and even a front fork of a motorcycle or two. And while they're either extreme that it just doesn't have quite the size for it, it mostly works on the lot. I found the automatic rotation feature to be more trouble than it was worth, honestly. It does not rotate in the middle of a recording, just at the start, to record the closest to right side up. While I'm sure that this could be helpful if you were mounting this upside down, most of the time it was just too easy for my shots to wind up recording, in a vertical phone style, so I left it off after the first day. Now, I do have to give Polaroid the gold star for ease of operation. Sliding the switch forward will both power on the camera and start the recording, while sliding it back just stops the recording. You see, the button on the top is the actual on-off switch, so to turn it on or off, you would need to press and hold the button on the top for a few seconds, whereas a quick press of that button, just a quick click, makes it take a picture, and it's fairly easy to get some reasonable shots with the camera, mostly because it's just that easy to operate. Behind the door on the back of the camera, you will find all of the ports, and a switch that says FHD and HD. Those are the 1080p and the 720p settings, respectively. The button to turn on and off the Wi-Fi module is also housed on the back panel. Now, when the cap is rotated and locked, you will have the water fastness down to 10 meters. Additionally, every recording saves in 2 resolutions. The logic being that the lower resolution can serve for a quick upload should you need it. While there are some features that I honestly didn't care for or even use much, like the auto rotation and the 2 resolution files, it's clear that Polaroid is aiming for people, number one, on a budget, and probably people who are not going to do too much editing before uploading. And I think that with that in mind, they've done a great job of meeting good quality and very low price. And for our trip, it served us with distinction. Would buy again. Now, if you are interested, I will be giving away one of the cameras that we used in this, the XS100. So go ahead and check the description for a link to the rules, and best of luck to you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed, and if you have, a comment or a like would be most appreciated. It's your feedback that lets me know how to best allocate my time to the things that you guys want to see. If you click on any of the links around here, you'll be taken to a playlist with more of that particular brand of madness. And be sure to subscribe so that you always know when I've got some new content out. Thanks again, and I'll see you around.